some light snow overnight tonight. How much we see and will it affect the morning commute?
Women dying during pregnancy and childbirth.
The I-Team investigates concerns about the number of women dying every year in Illinois.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 10 starts right now.
We are starting with the story breaking throughout this day. The first human-to-human transmission of coronavirus in the U.S., and it's right here in the Chicago area. The husband of the woman first confirmed to have that virus got it from her, and health officials in Ohio tonight confirming to Eyewitness News that he recently traveled to Cleveland.
Well, the news came as the World Health leaders made the move to declare the coronavirus a global health emergency. And in the past few hours, the U.S. raising its travel advisory warning people here not to travel to China. But health officials are still stressing the overall threat in America is low, and the flu remains far more deadly.
These two local patients, though, in isolation tonight at St. Alexius in Hoffman Estates. That's where Eric Hong is live. Eric.
Allen and Cheryl officials say that man, whose condition has been stabilized, began feeling sick 2 days ago. Because officials were in daily contact with him, he was quickly hospitalized. Officials say he did not travel to China, but contracted the virus from his wife who did. The man in his 60s placed in isolation on Tuesday, the day he developed symptoms. Officials say he'd been monitored daily after his wife was diagnosed last week.
This news may raise people's concern, but I want to state clearly that this development is something we have been prepared for.
Officials say the Chicago man did not use CTA, but he did travel to Cleveland more than 2 weeks ago. Health officials in Ohio unable to say how he traveled, only that he had no symptoms at the time.
The risk of spreading coronavirus from a person who does not have symptoms is considered to be low.
Public health officials are investigating locations where this second patient has visited in the last 2 weeks and any close contacts who were possibly exposed.
Officials say 21 people in Illinois are being monitored for symptoms, including healthcare workers at St. Alexius Hospital, where husband and wife are being treated. This, as the World Health Organization declares a global emergency.
We are not recommending people in the general public take additional precautions, such as canceling activities or avoiding going out of their homes.
Local officials today offering some perspective say that the CDC defines close contact with a patient as 10 minutes or more of face-to-face interaction. Live at Hoffman Estates, Eric Hong, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Eric, thanks. We just heard the experts say we don't need additional precautions. The CDC is saying really the same preventative actions that you would take to avoid getting the flu. That will also help protect you from coronavirus. So that includes, yes, washing your hands frequently, cleaning and disinfecting items and surfaces that are frequently touched. But unless you're sick, doctors say wearing a face mask is not recommended.
At this point, there is no need to wear surgical mask for protection because the level of exposure in Illinois, for example, in the U.S. in general, is so low.
And let's put this threat into further perspective. Health experts saying that other viruses are spreading faster in our area, like the flu. In fact, the estimates that so far this season, there have been 8,200 flu deaths, and about 15 million people have gotten sick from that.
Here is what's happening right now. The CDC still has a team on the ground here in Illinois monitoring the 2 cases here. The White House task force created by President Trump is continuing to coordinate the U.S. response efforts. And in China, the official end of the Lunar New Year holiday was postponed till Sunday. But there is concern that once people start returning home this weekend, the virus could spread even more.
So stay with ABC 7. We'll have updates on the threat of coronavirus. We'll have a closer look. You'll find that on our website and our news app and what is being done to stop the outbreak and the precautions that you should take.
There is other news tonight. Almost 3 years after an ABC 7 I-Team investigation exposed the prime suspect in a Southside murder, tonight we have learned a delay in DNA testing is why he was never arrested sooner. And prosecutors say he may have committed 2 other murders during that delay. Arthur Hillard is under arrest for the murder of 21-year-old Diamond Turner back in 2017. Her loved ones calling the DNA delay inexcusable.
I feel like they need to hurry up and get a better system with their DNA, because it shouldn't take 3 years before he get charged.
A judge has ordered Hiller held without bond.
And now new at 10, people are remembering the man who was shot and killed in West Garfield Park yesterday. You may remember an undercover officer just happened to witness that murder, and when that officer tried arresting the suspect shot the officer in the wrist. Well, tonight, people are describing DeVale Hill, the man who was killed, as a true friend and the type of person to never give up.
I don't want to cry about it because I know he gone. And I know it's going to hurt us more than anything. But I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing and doing it for him.
2 people are now in custody for that shooting.
Now to a major restructuring coming to the Chicago Police Force. Interim Superintendent Charlie Beck unveiling the new strategy today. It includes moving 1,100 detectives and narcotics and gang officers from their specialized units to the city's 22 police districts. It is also creating a centralized homicide unit and the department's first counterterrorism bureau. Now the changes will roll out over the next several months.
Now in Washington, and the questioning phase of the president's impeachment trial ended about 20 minutes ago. Both sides taking questions from senators for a second straight day. And the crucial vote, that vote on witnesses, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton, is expected to come tomorrow. Tonight, Republicans say they are confident they have the votes to block witnesses. Our Rob Elgis here tonight with us.
Now, things are moving fast tonight. Breaking word just into the newsroom that Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine says she will vote for witnesses, but Tennessee Senator Lamar Alexander just announced that he's a no.
If they impeach the president, no, that's not going to work. Watch. Just watch.
President Trump in Iowa for a campaign rally tonight, mocking the House managers who impeached him.
Shifty Schiff is a very sick person. He lies awake at night, shifting and turning, shifting and turning in his bed, sweating like a dog.
On Capitol Hill, the Senate trial well into its second night of questions and answers. For the first time today, Chief Justice John Roberts flexing his authority, refusing to read a question submitted by one of the senators.
Presiding officer declines to read the question as submitted.
Republican Senator Rand Paul attempting to use his question to out the suspected whistleblower who sparked the impeachment inquiry.
What we have seen over the last couple days is a descent into constitutional madness.
Today, the president's lawyers pressed on whether a president is allowed to ask foreign governments to investigate his American political opponents.
Yes, if there was a conduct by a U.S. person overseas that potentially violated the law of that country.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong. In the United States of America.
Former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich came up today. Senators posing a question to the president's counsel about any possible similarities between his crimes and the current trial, and they said there are not.
All right, Rob, we'll be watching that closely, of course, tomorrow. But let's turn to our weather now tonight, and you perhaps have heard there's a threat of some light snow overnight.
Meteorologist Larry Mallory here tracking it all. Larry.
Yeah, a little light snow showing up on Lockdown 7 Max radar right now. It's also mixing with a little bit of drizzle out here to the west, but this is just the first wave that'll come in here over the next couple of hours. It's really after midnight when we begin to see scattered snow showers arrive. So coming up, we'll talk about how much snow we might see tonight and when we finally see some sunshine.
Okay, Larry, also ahead tonight, the new report claiming that the helicopter company involved in the crash that killed Kobe Bryant should not have been flying.
Plus, a suburban woman's desperate attempt to save her dog from being attacked.
Women dying in pregnancy and childbirth.
They were working on her, and they had lost her.
The ABC 7i team investigates concerns about the number of women dying each year in Illinois. Coming up next.
Before the Academy Awards begin, watch the stars arrive live. Oscar Sunday starts on the red carpet, February 9th on ABC 7.
Comes as the wreckage undergoes analysis in Arizona after being moved there from California. The NTSB is still working on its preliminary report. And the New York Times tonight reporting that the helicopter company was not certified to fly in poor visibility.
So a pit bull in Arlington Heights could be euthanized after it killed another dog. Alice Sylvester says the pit bull attacked her 2-year-old corgi named Yo-Yo while they were on a walk. Sylvester was able to pour the corgi away while the pit bull's owner leashed the dog, but it slipped out and allegedly attacked again. The corgi died. The pit bull's owner will face a $750 fine.
Tonight, our I-Team with the Childbirth Concern. Why are so many women in Illinois dying, giving birth, or related to pregnancy?
Well, data shows that the dangerous complications related to pregnancy remain stubbornly high. Now the new efforts in Illinois to save lives.
Investigative reporter Chuck Kelly is here with more on this. Chuck.
Well, Illinois, of course, home to some of the nation's top hospitals and best doctors, but pregnancy-related deaths here remain a significant problem, especially in minority communities, even though the majority of deaths could be prevented. Now the I-Team looking into childbirth concerns here and across the country. More than 650 deaths nationally in the most recent reporting year, according to the new federal figures just out tonight.
Doctor came in and said that they were working on her and they had lost her.
Eric Beverly talking publicly for the first time about the devastating loss of his wife and son nearly 10 years ago. LaShawn Bilbro Beverly was 32 weeks pregnant and having trouble breathing when she went to the ER at Norwegian American Hospital on Chicago's northwest side. According to this federal lawsuit, the 40-year-old asthmatic was eventually diagnosed with pneumonia, but placed in a regular room. Less than 48 hours later, the mother of 6 was dead.
She was really sweet. She was a great mother.
Their baby boy named Jordan was delivered stillborn about 45 minutes later.
You hope to have a healthy child, but you never think, and I hope I live through it.
The medical negligence case resulted in a $9 million verdict.
They know she's pregnant, they know she has asthma, they know she has a respiratory infection, but they don't have a clip on her finger to monitor whether she's being properly oxygenated.
Norwegian American Hospital has declined comments, saying it was not involved in the litigation. Deaths tied to pregnancy are still considered rare in the U.S. Most pregnancies result in healthy babies and women. But women are dying, and health experts say any loss is unacceptable because most pregnancy-related deaths are preventable. In Illinois, between 2008 and 2016, an average of 73 women died annually within 1 year of pregnancy. That statistic revealed in this first-of-its-kind state report on maternal deaths. The report also revealing those mortality numbers are not improving.
That first report spurred a lot of energy, a lot of attention, a lot of legislation. The truth is we still have work to do.
Another troubling discovery. Black women in Illinois are 6 times as likely to die than white women. That rate almost double the national average. A pregnancy-related death can happen during pregnancy, at delivery, and even up to a year afterward. Top causes include heart disease, stroke, severe bleeding, and infection.
We got a problem.
Angela Ellison says she was just 9 years old when her mother died of a blood clot soon after giving birth to her sister.
When it comes to maternal mortality, this is now it's becoming a fight for me. It's like no baby should have to go through what me and my sister had to go through.
Ellison leading a nearly $5 million grant program at the University of Illinois, Chicago to improve maternal and infant health in underserved communities.
If I can be so bold, racism does play a factor. They may not be getting the right kind of care. They might be not being treated in a way that's equitable or in place that they feel welcome.
The Illinois Department of Public Health now overseeing efforts to find solutions with millions of dollars in grant money. And this past summer, more than a half dozen state maternal health laws were passed, including new legal rights for patients and mandated training for medical staff who handle childbirth emergencies. Carts stocked with equipment to help stop emergency bleeding are now required at all birthing centers in Illinois.
We were one of the first to devise this cart and recognize it's a true emergency and what we need to do to respond to it.
Hospitals in Illinois must now collect and report more accurate data on maternal deaths. But even though that law went into effect this past summer, the I-Team discovered that data is not yet available. Public health officials say there's a delay smoothing out details with hospitals.
We enact more, we have more tools, more procedures, more committees, more time, and yet we don't see improvement. And I think somehow we need a new approach.
After decades on the front lines here, Dr. Mark Loafman says the change needs to include more accessible and individual care for all pregnant women. He is not optimistic about the results due in an upcoming state report.
I haven't seen the final numbers yet, but I'm not anticipating, I'm not hopeful of a change.
Those latest Illinois numbers expected to be released by the State Department of Public Health within the next few weeks, probably early February.
And back to that statistic you mentioned, for Black women, 6 times more likely to die from pregnancy.
And among the worst in the country.
All right, Chuck, thank you for bringing it to our attention.
How do I get to the closest Social Security office by walking?
There might be a coating to maybe a few tenths of an inch of snow overnight tonight. That's a far cry from what it felt like last year. We were in the core of the polar vortex last year, and the high temperature last year on this date, 10 below zero. Today, our high 35, and that low temperature last year was 23 below zero. Today, our low temperature only 32 degrees, so a big difference from last year. Tonight, though, we do have some light snow coming through, a dusting to maybe a ½ inch in some areas, but really just a coating. And then as we head towards tomorrow night, another little batch of light rain and snow will be possible. That may linger into Saturday morning, but then we'll watch for a potential snowstorm next week. Tuesday's the day to keep an eye on. Still, indications are there could be the threat of some snow Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. But here's the little light precipitation that's starting to develop on Live Doppler 7 Max radar. Some of this is actually drizzle mixed with some snowflakes. It will change to all snow over the next couple of hours, but note how the coverage is pretty sparse here. What I expect to happen later tonight is the disturbance that's back here to the west. You can kind of see some snow showers back in Iowa and Minnesota. That's the weak disturbance that will slide overhead later tonight, and that's going to produce that light snow that we'll see. Really gets going after about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. There you can see the light snow coming through. For the morning commute, there probably will be some snow showers in the area, and again, we're looking at a dusting to maybe a coating of snow. And then tomorrow night, well, that's when we get another batch of some light precip to come through. A little rain-snow mixture early Saturday morning before we dry things out Saturday afternoon. How much snow tonight? There you can see it, just a few tenths of an inch, so certainly not a big snow, but maybe enough to put just a little bit of snow on some of those untreated roads overnight tonight. 34 at O'Hare, 33 at Midway. We are down to 32 in St. Charles and 30 out in Hampshire, 31 in Valparaiso. Very similar temperatures tomorrow to today. Temperatures in the mid-30s tomorrow. Today, our high temperature is at 35, and there's that low again of 32. So here's what's going to happen over the next few days. Clouds remain tomorrow and on Saturday with those occasional light snow showers tonight, and then tomorrow night a little light wintry mix. But look what happens on Sunday. Skies clear out pretty early Sunday morning. We get a gusty south wind, and we warm to 50 degrees on Sunday. Still in the 40s on Monday, but rain comes in late Monday, and then here's that system to watch for next Tuesday into Wednesday. The threat will be there for some snow showers next Tuesday and Wednesday. Tonight, cloudy, some scattered snow showers coming through, upper 20s to low 30s, mid-30s tomorrow, then Saturday, upper 30s with that light rain snow mixture very early. Finally, some sunshine on Sunday, and we warm up too, close to record highs. Record high on Sunday is 51, so close to a record high, and then we'll get that system in here Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Sunday, wow, all right. Best day of the week. Monday, right. Up next here, the man accused of that high-profile disappearance of his wife is now dead himself.
Lost the search for answers after a hit-and-run tragedy in the suburbs.
Break out the butter. Lobster Fest is on at Red Lobster. If you've been dreaming about tender, wild-caught lobster, dig into butter-poached, fire-roasted, and shrimp and lobster linguine. Dreams do come true. Or if you like the taste of New England without leaving home, try lobster sauteed with crab, jumbo shrimp, and more. Or maybe you'd like to experience the ultimate surf and the ultimate turf. With so many lobster dishes, there's something for every lobster fan. So hurry in and let's Lobster Fest. Or get pickup or delivery at redlobster.com.
Psychic Source challenged real people to have a 10-minute conversation with our gifted psychics and ask the questions that we all have.
Romance, love life.
And about love?
I feel more optimistic and haven't felt like this in quite a while.
Psychic Source is offering live video readings.
We're like super connected with her.
For a limited time, take the Psychic Source Challenge for as low as $1 a minute. Call 800-590-1441 or go to psychicsource.com.
Tonight, Chef Jeff will show us how to prepare.
Jeff, what are we making here?
Peanut butter on a spoon.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you do this? Come here, Grandma. You just dip your peanut butter in the spoon, pretty much, and then you put it in your mouth. Oh, you're a genius.